Common will. It is not a new word, but yet it becomes strange to our knowledge. The most generalization nowadays tends to fall down into misguided of conception in which the individuals within the society are indifferent. This is the deviate understanding that needs to be educated through the active engagement of consciousness. What justifies the scope of common will? Common will is the communal freedom from disabilities. Freedom itself means the enhancement of self-discipline within the personal liberty. The human being basically is not free by its natural background, that inevitable, reliable to the previous origin. But human being itself is sacred with its evidence of soul that precedes its power within will and reason. Take a look for an instance where a young man envisions himself to be profitable in its existence, but the circumstance hinders him not by the external matter, but the disabilities of power towards efficiency, or known as indolence. Then conclude that he is still in the conscious where the ego is the domination of his affection. Therefore, he needs to be free by his choice to counter his accident towards perfectionism. Let us regard it in a wider range of the community. Communal freedom is the product of justice enhanced within the governance. Let us proceed to the crucial steps that need to be regarded. The ethical conduction of personal being is up to be conscious in accepting the consequences of environment. In order for that young man before to be free from his disabilities is to counter his self-ego. Therefore, the liberty is supposed to be educated, then to apply well his will and reason. The legitimate value of measures is to be regarded costly for the right evaluation to the equivalent goods. Consider still the young man in his effort. In order for the prosperity of others, the limit within the states is to protect the lives of the fellows. The attributed evidence of intellectual faculties presents a reason for the intrinsical consent to the particular circumstances. Here we see that the liberty of that young man is limited in order to regard the rights, and now the policy is up to be for the equivalent order where the good and bad values are in its each places. Then we call it justice. Now we arrive at the objection. The personal liberty tends to difficult the beings by the passion to lower pleasure rather than freedom. Take a look to the example. In Philippines, we are demanded to accept the build project with its cost, and we on the other hand demand for the equality of beneficial opportunities within its justice. But how do we regard the circumstances where most individuals will to their liberty, such as disregard to education and apply indolence? The legitimate measure would rather enclosure the manipulation of substantial power when it ignores the goal. This is a big problem where most of states have to deal with it. The reasonable evidence often be presented in some circumstances is ignorant to the rights. Imagine if there are workers with well-guided liberty and the limit protects the rights, but the policy restrains those individuals to submit their gaining to the profit of state and nothing left to the reply. From those crucial points, we could agree to these present answers. Self-discipline and efficiency is crucial for the political beings while racial feelings fragile it. The responsible judgmental organ consequences its crucial role for the state of wellness within the living. The optimal concern of state acquires the efficacy by persisting in its principle to be free from all associational concern. Therefore, I conclude this with my own word. Common will is a state of being and not affairs, meaning to say that it needs the enhancement of being self-consciousness and not just wait for it comes down from heaven or anywhere. In addition, I want to state my insight. Nationality is the exact response to the just governance, and for the manipulative, the civil disobedience. Here is the question to be reflected together. Which step should we take first for common will? The self-consciousness or advocacy?